Hi guys, since there are so many of you, let's start with music earlier and then we can start right on the dot with the reading. So here is the music until I get myself a coffee. And hopefully you have a coffee to share with me. It will be freaking awesome. My lovely ladies and lovely gentlemen, how's everybody? How was your week? I had a really, I would say half of the week was great, and then poof, something cut me like right through it. It was just like really weird, I have to say, to a point that yesterday I saw this like video of a little kitty that kind of like was rescued at the very end of his life, and kind of like how that little of kindness kind of like touched us, and I kind of like lost my thing, right? So let's see who is here. Let's see who is here. Oh my gosh, this coffee is so good. I really needed coffee. I mean, I'm craving regular coffee because this is decaf, but it is what it is, I guess, right? So hey Brooklyn. Oh, is it Brooklyn? No, it's Barbie. Oh my gosh. Where did I get Brooklyn from? John, Stephanie, Sarah. That like everybody was here before. Happy cats are there. That's right. Purple Psyche, Purple Psyche Kitty. Happy birthday to you as well. You know, tomorrow is going to be a big astrological shift. So one of the biggest shifts actually for Aquarians. So I'm trying to get, you know, over the weekend those scopes. So let me see. Nada Cat, good morning China, Nico, Sabramanyam, I hope I pronounced this, and then just Species, Laura, wow, Finland, we have Finland in the house, Burns Mall. Well, thank you guys, Happy New Year, Dominki. It is really good to be here with you. This is our first in this particular year, so let's make it hopeful, let's make it positive. I kind of like was driven to do these oracle messages last time, which is similar to this, not exactly the same. It's more or less, well, this is going to be out there and this is going to work in conjunction. How do you really connect to this? So since, hi Kylie, since we are really going through transition of Capricorn, and I really felt bad that I didn't release Capricorn around the 23rd, but you know, I had so many things going on at the same time. It was just really too much. Getting to one things, actually not doing it was a big thing for me, believe it or not, because I am generally programmed to be perfectionist, so this actually was a healing exercise. But if this really helps you, I was really experiencing a huge amount of guilt, so that's where we go. So let's go. Yes, thanks Lati for reminding me. Annuals are there. If you can support the channel, that would be great, because supporting the channel is not only supporting the channel, but supporting this kind of like kitties that I kind of like get sapped into watching their videos. And you know, I know it's not probably much. It's like one little drop in the ocean that kind of like helping that one kind of like tiny little 3-pound, 4-pound body. But boy, it makes a difference to that little kind of like creature, right? Okay, so we are starting with Earth. I'm using Cat's Eye Tarot and Rider Waite. So let's see what I have, so that I don't get these cards that are things. Wow. So which one do I use for which? I'm going to use this for the general part, and this one, and that's where it is. Look at that tower, and tower card keeps jumping out from, and I have no idea how this actually ended up here. Isn't this amazing? I have a deck without a tower card. You'll say, yay! The tower is very good card, especially when people are thinking, oh my gosh, I'm not getting ahead. What's wrong? How do I get ahead? And then puff, tower shows up. It goes, yeah, you will get ahead. Maybe it's not going to be the way you want it, but you will. Okay, Earth, 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 Earth. What's up for the Earth in this transition from today to 11th? From today to 11. Earth, 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 Earth. Oh, look at those. We have 2 8s and we have Queen of Swords. Well, it looks like you guys are really maybe love oriented, or you are maybe better to clarify that you are happiness oriented. You want to kind of like get somewhere. Look at this in the 8 of Cups. This fellow or lady is deciding, look, in spite of everything that I have, let me kind of like seek. So what possibly are you looking for? Like, you know, like when people say like, look, you have everything, like what do I buy? What do I do for the person who has everything? So this is obviously something emotional that is making this person embark in this kind of like wet and possibly slippery and dark atmosphere. And the moon is not necessarily happy about that, but that is like that point in our lives when we own it to ourselves to maybe walk away from something or go towards something that probably is going to make us happy or happier. So combined with this, it really talks about maybe going towards some messages. Maybe you're going to be getting a message from someone who kind of like is just going to drop the line. Since I know for Capricorn it's your birthday, you might really get that. But for the other Earth, this is like, I mean, applicable as well. So then you have like this 2 8s, and there you go. This is maybe why the Tower card was like standing over here. It's going to be sort of repositioning that you will have. I know that you guys are very into kind of like respecting your possessions, respecting the people who you have around you. But in this particular period, you're kind of like reaching out that, you know, that bucket of people who are maybe meaningless or who maybe are not really satisfying everything that you need, is either needs to be expanded and hence kind of like you're looking for it, or you really didn't date in a while and now it is the time. But you're going to approach this in a very kind of, let's say, diligent way. I see Queen of Swords as kind of like of course air sign. In particular, I see that as Aquarius. It is somebody who basically doesn't really like to waste time. It's kind of like almost the opposite of you, because you guys are very patient. This person is not patient, but they have really good reasons not to be patient, because have been there, done that kind of a thing. I know how this story ends. Okay, are we done with it? Are we done with the shopping? Kind of like move on. You might meet somebody very, very pragmatic. So that's going to be interesting. Okay, So let's go with Capricorn. Happy birthday, Capricorn. Happy birthday. No, I'm not getting anything. Oh, there it is. Hello, Heb. How are you? I was like, what? Nobody's talking? How's that possible? A little early in Ontario, but it's like 12 o'clock somewhere. Well, it is 11. I don't know if that's early. I mean, it's kind of interesting. Any Capricorns in the house that well, with Purple Psyche, me, who is a pretty girl, me. Happy birthday to you, Purple Psyche. Happy birthday to you. So, Brooklyn, I know like you were somewhere around. Like I was picking up on you. I was calling Brooklyn, and you were really not checking in yet. So, there you go. Welcome. Capricorn. Capricorn, Capricorn, Capricorn. So, Capricorn, there you go. You have 5 of Pentacles. This is always like, hey, you know, I'm stuck. I just really don't know where I am. It's like somebody kind of like maybe pushing you. Maybe you're leaving because somebody pushed you into leaving, and there is like a new exciting opportunity. Look at that. Where do I go from here? Oh my gosh, I really don't like this thing. I mean, I know this is nature, but when you kind of like see this nature, it's kind of like so hard. So this is really, really good. You're kind of like coming in touch with who you truly are, what you truly need. I know like that your monthly was like spectacular. It kind of like talked about going from a gloomy situation to basically the sun and finally basking in it here. And look, this is finally getting your grip, finally kind of like moving out from, you know, somebody maybe discarding you in that proverbial bag. You know, you have been maybe feeling that you have been a burden to someone, and you kind of like felt, look, this kind of like doesn't work for anybody. It doesn't work for me, doesn't work for you. So I need to kind of like follow through of who I am and what makes me happy. This is like all about creating your own world, moving in your own direction, kind of like having your own kind of like dedication toward it. Thanks. Intention. This is lovely card. Look, she's like trying to put that little kind of golf ball in the hole, and there is like this goal, and that's exactly what Two of Wands is really talking about. In the regular decks we see the dude who is holding Earth, but this is basically his own world where what he wants to create, just like what I see here. You looks like you want to create love, you want to create you're setting a whole bunch of new goals by actually moving away from something that really didn't work in the past and pushing that kind of like almost like spiritual like feeling forward. So intention is very important. So if you guys didn't write down your wishes, I would advise to do it. Tomorrow is this like big shift, celestial shift, which is going to make hopefully this world a much better place. So make sure that you're like putting your own thing here. You know, this like, I mean, really bad Scottish joke. I mean, in Europe, like we consider Scots very cheap. I don't know, here is like kind of like going Dutch, kind of like it's the reference. So it is the son and a father, Scottish son and father are going to America. And the son kept going like, come on, dad, when are we get there? When will we get there? Or just like, I mean, just shut up, Dad, when will we be there? Okay, shut up and swim, right? But intention was there. It doesn't really matter which vehicle you took. It is really important that you kind of have this vision in which direction you are really going. So, oh, thank you, Special K. I am actually donating probably more than 25% so far. I donated 100%, and it's just like I'm just like making sure that like, I mean, if I don't donate 100%, that like, I mean, I'm telling you guys the truth. It's kind of like one of those things that, as I said, it might not make a difference to the big universal thing, but it's going to make a difference to that little doggy or to that little kitty. And so far I gave to this Greek woman that she's actually in Greece. They have a huge problem of pets just being discarded, and they're kind of like really getting all this kind of skin diseases, and then the eyes close down, then they get kind of like blinded, and that really takes such as like small care to do it. In a sense, it's good because there is like kind of like quote unquote all village feeding them, but medical care is needed, otherwise they get emaciated. So there is like this woman who is basically really on call when certain pets happen and helping to really find their forever home. And I really love how she does it. She's not going, well, this pet is like 1-year-old or 10-year-old. It's none of that. Like, this is a person, and do you really want to deal with this furry person? So she got it. Humane Society International got it because they were dealing with some kind of like doggies overseas, and there's like one in the States, Hope for Paws, because they're like doing very similar thing to that woman in Greece does. I really want to help these people who are smaller. Usually when you get too big, and I don't want to sound horrible here, but when you get too big, you lose essence of this one-on-one help. You really need to help the animal, give them this really loving care. So I would just go toward the small one. So yeah, and they have that cat island in Greece. So who do we do? Who do we do? D2 here, Virgo. Let's go, Virgo. Virgo. We are the High Priestess. Oh my goodness, and the Justice. Virgo, it's going to be big week. Look at this Justice. Like, I mean, this is usually the card with a sword. We do see this like scale of justice somewhere in the middle, but look at that. It's kind of like walking away is also kind of like coming back. Maybe there is like this essence of, how do I really go from here? The High Priestess is really about observation. When you're getting a little bit of water, you're getting a little bit of air. So it almost looks like you're mulling it over, because look at that. Both of them are sitting in front of the window. One is thinking about going out, and another one, well, it's just kind of like step back in. But this is like just to acknowledge that I am here. Almost looks like you will be in a position where, you know, some observation, oh thank you Special K, some observation from the past is really coming to the surface. I really think this is really important. The High Priestess is always talking about, you know, kind of like when you meet a person, you're looking at a person, you are exchanging words, but there's a lots of non-verbal communication that is taking place. In fact, some people say that 85% of communication is non-verbal. It will be all these little tics and things that we do. So I really think that you have been maybe looking around what you want, who you want, how you want it, and maybe you have observed few people. You know how they say, just don't think about, you know, how the person treats you, but look how they treat, like, I mean, help, how they treat, you know, other people. What stories do they tell? Sometimes we just go into, oh, no, you're not like that. No, you're not. Yes, they are. And this is kind of like realization. Oh, yes, they are. You know what? Like, I mean, it's really nice meeting you. I really enjoyed this coffee. I gotta go. gotta go. And it's going to be very strong urge. For a part of the week, you might pull yourself in, but this is like almost like karma resolved. When you get a karma card here, something is really pushing forward. And almost like you're going to minimize that noise when people kind of like bother you. You know, like, I mean, you show up at work, within half an hour, you're like a cat with a backup kind of a thing, right? No, nothing will bother you this particular week, Virgo. Everything will be fine. There it is, simplicity, and that's something really appealing to your sign. Kind of, look, you know, I don't have to do anything. Everything is done. You guys are telling me everything I need to know. It's almost like what I'm kind of like, what flash here was you sitting in a movie theater and watching things happen. Even though you do not know how the movie will end, you still feel safe and comfortable and sort of like withdrawn from the situation, as if you're in a position to kind of, you know, maneuver how and when and what. So who I didn't do? Taurus. Gem got simplicity. Ooh. So I know gems generally kind of like have a difficult. Hello, Temperance. Hi, sweetie. I'm so glad to see you. How are you doing? Okay, so let's see. Taurus. 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 Hi guys, please hit like. I would really like to see everybody hit like or dislike if you wish, because I know that any given time there are like anything between 30 and 70 people watching, but when the show ends you can see there were like 200 or 300 people. So that kind of like just would be nice gauge to do that. So we have 3 of Wands and we have 7 of Cups for Taurus. Both of these cards are about kind of like incentive. Both of these cards about dream world, of course. Like, I mean, Kitty really wants this fish. And I used to have the fish tank long ago, which was like, I call it Kitty TV. And they like it for a little while, and then they don't like it, and you're stuck with maintaining aquarium, which I really didn't like. And I never managed to connect with the fish. I know that some people feel a really deep connection, but I never managed to cross that bridge to that world. But 3 of Wands, you see here, like, I mean, your earth partner Capricorn had 2 of Wands. You guys have 3 of Wands. So there is like this next stage of embarking. These are the first steps. You're moving in your direction. You're having new dreams. You're having your dedication. So that's exactly what is going on. It almost like feels like a fresh start for you, Taurus. It feels like, you know, that whole bunch of opportunities are showing up. The only kind of like caveat in all of this is like sometimes you get so excited about so many things that you just get tired even thinking about them. So it would be really good for you to position yourself how to really go about it. It is like, I mean, something new beginning, new start. You're really excited about it. You're really hoping. This also is going to be a week of friendships and kind of like discussing relationships. You're going to say to people you care for, that you love them, and you know, maybe you're going to do something jointly with somebody who is like really meaningful for you. So let me see. That would be delight. Oh my goodness, is this a birthday cake or this is just something they're celebrating? You know, I have astigmatism, so when there are so many details in such a small picture, I really cannot tell. So, but it is kind of like really fitting, because you guys as an earth sign, you like to enjoy everything that is kind of earthy, like your food, like even your sofa, even a new pillow. And going for, oh, I have to show you the pillow that I got for New Year's. I gotta show you this from a special person. This is my New Year present. I don't know if you can even see it. If you can even see it. Look at that. It's actually a pillow. Isn't this the cutest thing? So, my favorite card. And now it's in a large size. And it's like something to remind me when I dream that I should never ever lose a hope. So it is cute, right? So, and apparently it was commissioned and specifically made, so it was absolutely lovely. Grumpy Unicorn is still here, but look at what happened to Grumpy Unicorn. Grumpy Unicorn got old. It kind of like, I don't know what happened to the mechanism, but he doesn't want to close his mouth, so kind of like he looks weird. And, right? So he has kind of like the dental problem right now. I don't know, maybe I'll remove his teeth, but then he's not going to be scary. It's just like an old grumpy guy. So here he is. Grumpy Unicorn is here. I don't know, somehow I'm really feeling unicorns coming up this year. Something is going to be really, yeah, he needs braces for sure. So Taurus, I'm really excited to see everything that you're going to have this particular week. And let's move forward. Moving forward to water. Let's do water next, because I think you were sort of like relegated to the end of the line before. So let's do you next. Please click like or dislike, whatever you know suits you. I mean, I don't want to command you what you should like. That's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, it is your option. You can tell I'm a Libra Ascendant, right? Okay, so water. Oh, really? I got myself jammies and it has like this big unicorn, and then I had this unicorn, angry unicorn. So, wow, it is just like I see unicorns everywhere. It's so bizarre. Okay, water. Water, 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 water. Water, water, water. Glad you like it, Have. I did finish the reading for the lady you have chosen, and I don't know if she's on over here. Okay, what? Whoa, you have the Empress, and this one wants to come out. Oh my goodness, water. This is beyond lovely. This is beyond lovely. The Wisdom of Unicorns. That would be interesting. I actually bought myself a book, and it's going to be most likely for my other channel. I'll show you the book. Some of you might remember it. Who else is still reading books? Who else is old-fashioned? Look at this. Can you see what I'm reading? Look at this beautiful book. And this book is always written, like some of them were kind of like autobiographic, what he did, and some of them are not. And I really think I'm going to, because I see many signs in this book, and I think I'm going to interpret kind of like certain kind of like conundrum that signs are kind of going through these familiar fairy tales, so that way we can kind of like better understand them. So water, you're going to have amazing time. I just like really know there are a few combinations that are really interesting. Who is this? Who is this? Who is brushing off around? Is this Matrix or is this Safi? Matrix! What's up? What's up, Matrix? So there is like my little Taurus boy, Taurus Scorpio, I think, because Scorpio birthday is celebrated because that's when I found him, but I really think by the behavior he's probably Taurus, right, pretty boy? And finally I'm going to get to water eventually. I will, I promise. So what basically is happening, the Empress is the energy of 3. I think you're picking up on this very much. And look at that, Scorpios are coming through extremely strongly. There is like this kind and nurturing, intuitive power. If you guys have been wondering about who you are and how to go about it, trying to find your place, then this is going to be the week. Almost like, looks like the shoe will fit. Almost like anything you do will fit. There is like this huge transformation. It's like you're going from this like ugly duckling to a full-blown swan. Queen of Cups is basically you, the water. It's the best that you can have. It's the one who doesn't have shadows. It's almost like to the extreme of being able to give or being able to express that emotional component. You're going to be happy at work, you're going to be happy at home, you're going to be happy with your romantic interests. If you are a guy, you might meet a woman who will be so perfect that you would be even afraid of approaching her. If you're a woman, you'll be able to attract basically like bees to honey, like people around you. It's because of this huge heart and kind of like kindness that's sort of going to be extremely, extremely strong. So I'll look at her, look, Safi. And Safi is like really special. She kind of like sleeps on my wrist, and if I move she gets really, really upset. So, you know, I almost like find myself sometimes like that my leg gets like so wooden because I want to move. Poor thing. But at least we know who's the boss in this thing. Oh, thanks, Kylie. They're always like on the same spot, so it's kind of like hard to get something new and something fresh, but I'm trying to kind of like catch them when they're like so cute and kind of share them with you. Okay, so who do I start here? Let's go with Scorpio, because I see this 13. I see this like death card showing here, which actually is a really good card when it's upright. And it really talks about, look, certain things need to be left in the past. You know, sometimes, you know, there is like that Dr. Phil went through my head, like, do you really want to be right or you want to be happy? Kind of like it's understanding, look, you know, sometimes I have to be softer. Sometimes, like, and what is it that I have lost along the way, you know, where it's kind of coming back almost like home, like feeling home. And it doesn't matter where you are, if that's at home, at work, on a park bench, it's going to be like really that homecoming feeling. And there it is, the Tower, which is very, very Scorpio card. And what is the other one? Oh my goodness. I'm having goosebumps right now. And do not freak out. I really think this is just like simply repeat, like something that you have been doing, some hopes that you have been having are maybe just simply coming to basically its head. It's not workable, it's not doable. A new change has to happen. The Tower is always talking about that energy. Mind you, it can be very phallic energy, it can talking about that fatal attraction kind of a thing. Maybe you found yourself in a situation that hasn't been healthy for you. Or this actually simply can mean that something is going to really happen that's going to make you shake your head. And how did I not see that before? This is definitely when we kind of like encounter a dead end street on something where like we need to go in a different direction. I think for you guys it's really talking about the cult of you. That maybe you were a little bit out of your own character, that maybe you're a little bit out of who you know you really desire to be, and hence this entire transformation has to happen. And it could be like really on your domestic front from what I see, but this is like coming fully in your powers. This is why he's holding the white rose. Something is really growing. You see, the child is really excited. The people who are really scared are people who have something to hide. So this is like really, really understanding of self, understanding of everything around, right? So let's see. Tower is a baby. Well, if maybe some of you might get pregnant because the Empress can signify pregnancy, you're right. So, but it's going to be really welcome news, and it could be one of those things. Discernment. And discernment is like about this Tower energy, like where do I go, in which direction to go. Oh my gosh, I'm so confused. And this is a puppy. I think it's a puppy in a car. It's like so cute. And the truth is, like, what? Okay, it depends on how much gas you have it, and depends on how strong you are. Like, really, nothing can be really lost, because this is really easy to figure out where you're going, at least according to this card. Because one way is like where you're coming from, another way is like where you should be going. So do you really want to continue on the path where you're at, or you kind of like want to take this left turn, which is like something maybe unknown. It is really hard because we are always measuring, oh well, this something is a risk, right? But sometimes that risk, the experience, is really what is really, really important. So it's going to be a really big week for you Scorpios. This new shift of planets is going to affect you in a really, really strong way. Which word, Lottie? Oh, I see. So, okay, so let me have a sip. Yeah, Temperance is going to be really exciting. I mean, you guys, if there is like one sign that not only is not afraid of the dark, but kind of like dwells in the dark, it's sort of like you hit them and they will come back to you, say like, just give it to me. And it's kind of like that will that people are really, really looking at. It's almost like this huge water, like, I mean, is you know, watershed moment, like you know you cannot stop it. So that's something like that is going to be really, really big. So who is next? We have Pisces and we have Cancer. Let's go with Cancer this time. Cancer. Good. Whoa, we're getting whole bunch of thingies over here. Cancer, you might feel a little bit, you know, putting things in order. There are like certain things that you feel that you don't want to continue with, and that's why possible this Ace of Pentacles is showing up. Maybe you had too many things on your plate, and none of these things were kind of like satisfactory to you. And again, this really tells me maybe you have been looking for something on the outside of you. Cancers, you are like most likely to really meet somebody while you already are with someone. Something like that, where, you know, or quite the opposite, where somebody is going to really try to get your attention and you will be in your own thoughts. You really need to kind of look around this particular week. Oh, by the way, Dean said hi to everybody. He's busy this morning, so he's missing, I could call it, the show. So there is like this energy over here that is definitely concern energy. I see the Chariot here hiding. There is like this new direction. You're going in a new path, right? You kind of really don't feel complete comfort in that kind of like emotion. So you're more or less looking into, I need to think through what needs to be done. So I see you guys making this like to-do list, and that's mostly because there were like quite a few kind of like dead ends, possibly in the last year. Maybe you felt that, you know, you need to kind of like stop and smell the roses, because this is definitely talking about, you know, how do I either keep myself afloat? How do I move forward in life? And you are aware that you are like, that something is amiss. You are aware that there are like issues you need to kind of like deal with, which is really, really important. So sometimes like just facing the music is like all it takes, because most people are not even able to have self-reflection and just go where it is. So I think you will really benefit of the people around you, Cancer, because you'll be getting that emotional nurturing energy. But my God, get off the pot, right? Because you are projected to have such a great week, so don't make it too harsh and too much thinking. Just enjoy it, right? So the card for you is play. Just as I said, don't take things too seriously. If things are not working, you're still here. Really? I love you. I love you. He's like becoming so loving. So Cancer, play. Find something that you can engage with. You know, this is not really time to be serious. This is really time to loosen up a bit. Pisces, let's see, Pisces, can you hear Matrix, guys? When he comes and talks, he's like starting to talk more and more. Pisces, Six of Cups. Pisces, are you reminiscing? And look at this, the Queen of Swords. It's kind of like really interesting in a Seven of Cups also. I love this Queen of Swords. Look at this pretty Siamese. She's like just like Safi. Only thing this one is, I think, the chocolate one, Seal Point. So Six of Cups always talks about reminiscing. It can talk about gathering with your siblings, or maybe exchanging this, hey, Happy New Year, with the people you knew from your past, and the whole bunch of things bubble up to the surface. Maybe you're realizing that there were some kind of like ritualistic things that you have been going through throughout your life, and maybe you're also feeling that certain things kind of like pushed you away from your path. You are starting to be that dreamer, and you guys are really kind of like almost like, to me, like this daydreaming, kind of like sometimes you get lost in that. But also, like, I mean, it's very important to realize that you'll actually put things in balance, that certain things you will realize are really drain on your time and your energy. Maybe there are people in life that you have who always kind of like summon you when they need you, but they are not there when you need them. Or you're realizing that you actually never created that relationship to have that kind of balance. So you're more engaging into that. You're more like falling into tune with what your real needs are. Also, some of you might be kind of like, as I said, communicating with the people from your past who are maybe not necessarily immediate but distant. You might actually hear from somebody from your past, somebody who has been extremely meaningful for you. And depending on how they approach you, you know, you might decide to maybe move ahead with them. This I do see as possible reunion as possible blossoming and kind of like feeling a whole bunch of opportunities. But you're going to, if you go in the direction, it's going to be really, really nice in but you're going to be more careful than you have been done previously. This is the reading for Pisces and honesty. Honesty is the key, I think, here with, you know, sometimes we get all these romantic feelings about somebody from the past, because not only do they represent somebody who is cherished and beloved, and it gives us that huge hope, oh my gosh, like you already know about this person, yes, it can work, there are so many good things. But honesty means, hey, you know, let's talk about things that actually didn't work. But the way how this is being said is really, really important, right? So this is going to be a nice development for you, because generally you go out of your way not to hurt people. And this is not about hurting people. This is about standing strong. It's like Queen of Cups can say, look, you know, I really don't like what you did, like bad kitty, but I love you. And kind of like that kind of conversation. So, oh my gosh, water, you know, you're going to be just, you know, and look at this. I did pick up, just right now I realized I didn't do that here with this deck, but I guess it was meant to be this way. So what are we going to do now? We're going to do air next. Who is air over here, guys? Who is air? Do we have air? Do we have air? Not the cat. Well, you know, fire, you haven't been last in a while, so I figured, you know, let's kind of like push you a little bit behind this timer. I don't know how come I'm so fast today. Like, oh yeah, I started a little bit early. Oh. Okay, so air. Thank you, Temperance Rising, and thank you for all my moderators. Thank you very much for being here with me. I keep forgetting to say that, and I finished a lot. So, oh my god, like I just like appear to be so self-absorbed, but trust me, I mean, I'm confused. Enough confused. It takes lots of time for me to kind of like really focus on things that I need to, because I don't know how much you know about me. I'm kind of insomniac, and when you just get 4 to 5 hours of sleep consistently for a year or two, it's really hard to focus. I'm not ADHD. Just sometimes focus issues, and Lati is laughing at me because she communicates more with me, so I just forget, and I feel really bad when I do. And also thanks for everybody who shows up. It's absolutely lovely, so that's kind of like really, really interesting. So air, please, step forward. There we have a Libra Sun. Ooh, we have quite a bit of Silly Jane. Look at that, air. There we go. Ooh, we have 10 of Swords, we have 7 of Cups, and Page of Wands. Honestly, guys, this sounds to me like a lift-off. It sounds like that something maybe, you know, bogged us down. It is a switch of New Year's, and for air, this is particularly difficult, right? Because you have to kind of like put it in perspective. Air doesn't go, ooh, look at this cookie, it makes me feel so good, like the earth would do. Air would not go, come on, give me a hug. Like, right? Air would not go, like, because like that's what water would do, right? So air would not go like, hey, you know, let's do something, like let's kind of see a movie or something like a fire would do. Air would go, you know, that communication, understanding, like having the same vibration, being on the same page is extremely important for the air. So we start basically this new beginnings and new years, and this is clearly, even though it looks pretty bad as a card, that there are some rules and some things that we did we are no longer tolerate. We are going to go in a new direction, because we, you know, this is kind of like about not being stupid and realizing that maybe we have been doing the same things over and over and over and expecting different results. It's like, now, okay, I am the stupid one. I gotta change this. I have to be different. And I really think that air is, in a sense, really seeking kind of like emotional engagement over here. So this is about thinking through what needs to be done, kind of like that's where the bonding happens. Who is on my basically frequency, who is not on my frequency, and what is it I really want, and who are these people who are around me that actually can work things out. And there is like this finally motivation, there is like this new boost of how things are actually working through. Page of Wands is a messenger also. It can actually really talk about, you know, some really good news. It can talk about kind of like you're starting to feel this, oh my gosh, I need to kind of like start doing things, and this I neglected and I have to do it now. So it's going to be newfound kind of like enthusiasm about everything. Plus I'm seeing Aquarian energy really coming through, and that's this big pillow that I have over here. And Aquarian energy is like all about self-esteem. The Aquarians, because Aquarians belong to basically everybody, not just to one person, not to just like one pet. It is really hard for Aquarians to live that kind of life. But this is why when this energy comes through, it talks about you need to be authentic. That's the highest level of being, right? Even though I have to say, I do question sometimes authenticity, because yes, I'm Aquarius, because so many people fake authenticity, and also some authenticity. I really think it would be better that we are safe from it, and that will be e.g. people who are like extremely rude, or, you know, rather kind of like trying to bully us into certain things. That I can live without. So let's go with Gemini. Who is Gemini? Light is Gemini. Have is Gemini. What does I see here? I see Ace of Cups, and we see the Hermit. So my gosh, Gemini, this is like so freaking typical you. You know, these two faces of the Gemini looking in different directions. So Ace of Cups is like, hey, you look at the fish is really not afraid. It just reminds me of the scene that was like this morning in my place, right? I have like these window air conditioners, and since I'm really close to this big tree, I think some birds found, like, created their nest under the air conditioner, which I didn't want to remove. And cats kind of like love this chirping. They go there. Sometimes Safi wants me to play her cat entertainment videos on YouTube, but when she has the live show, she goes for live. She loves live music. So today it was just like that. It was the glass in between, and the birdie was just looking in the kitty, and the kitty was looking back, and it was really clear to both of them that nothing is going to happen. You're not going to hurt me. And Safi was continuing to be frustrated. So interestingly now that we see this Hermit card over here, and the Hermit has this like big star, this like really pretty white patch. So this is kind of like Matrix. But is he really a hermit, or is this really a kitty? I really think there is like another ally kitty sleeping behind, and we have the family of mice over here. It almost like gives me the same thing, that it doesn't matter where you are, who you are, that there is like this need to move forward. And I really think that some of you Geminis maybe have been too much in yourself, too much into, oh, you know, I need to kind of like figure something out, kind of like everybody leave me alone. But now there is like this new dream that is like going to start direct you. And since we have like this Siamese fighting fish over here, like, I don't know if you know about it, but Siamese fighting fish is almost like a cat. It just like puffs up, right, when it wants to kind of like appear to be bigger. So I think you're going to be putting on a show, and kind of like finally shedding like this whole kind of like ideas and all the stuff, and going in a new direction. So let me see what Temperance says about Gemini. I think it's a mysterious thing for me and Gems. My emotional ass be trying to unlock the door, and it's so hard, but I'm attracted to them. It's a love-hate thing. But that's because you are on a right, you're on the edge, and you're on the same kind of like tangent, the Sagittarius Gemini, and that's why it is. It's almost like the shadow part of you. Efficiency. Well, efficiency is kind of going to be really interesting. It's maybe and I can see that here, like going forward, going backward. Sometimes you need to kind of like step backward, right, to position yourself if you want to move forward, because I really think this is going to be a week where you guys are maybe going to clean your house. I don't know if this makes any sense. Hermit is also the card of understanding how happy you are. I really like that card, Hermit. And Hermit also sometimes represents Aquarians, where you getting that energy is healing energy. It's healing all your chakras, because Aquarian card typically has this like one big star, which is kind of like the hope you're going toward, and 7 little stars around, which are talking about chakras. So I really think if you felt either inadequate or that you need to reposition yourself in terms of relationships, and then everything so far didn't really work well, or this also can talk about work. Maybe you wanted to get some promotion, you wanted to get ahead, but there is like a really sense that you're kind of like spinning your wheels and getting nowhere, the hamster wheel. Things actually start to move forward in a way that is going to make you happy. So Aquarius says you can't generalize, though you attract what you put out. That's true, but it's, let me just explain. Because you see, we all talk about karma, like you be good, you'll get good. But the truth is that this is like a big continuum, right? And this life is just like tiny little dot on that continuum. So you might be doing lots of good here and benefiting it out there. So hence, not necessarily in one life that you see it, but definitely it works in the long-term picture. Oops. Sometimes I think like a Sherlock. Page of Swords. Oh my God. Aquarians are going to be inquisitive, looking for the new things, exploring new things. What is this? Of course, she made Siamese cats into swords. That's because they're smarty pants and they really talk a lot. But we also have Knight of Cups and we have 2 of Pentacles. So I really think Aquarians are really kind of, I think, almost like resisting somebody who might be coming in their life. There is like this appearance of this Knight of Cups, but this is not a best combination for Aquarian. It's very romantic, it's very nice, but like after a week or 2 of poetry and everything, like Aquarian is sleeping, right? So but anyhow, this is going to be playful enough to kind of like allow this kind of like newfound kind of like enjoyment going. Like 2 of Pentacles with Page of Wands combining, it's really talking about having this like new fresh zest and new fresh motivation to our going things. It looks like lots of things are going on, so it could be also a little bit of confusing energy. And also what I see here is that like Page of Swords is like a very also messenger energy. Page of Swords can actually talk about receiving news from somebody who maybe left you behind, or you left them behind in the dust, but you didn't leave them, you left them without actually closing that page, right? You left them where you had to. You know how Aquarians sometimes make this decision, it's like this is really not good, and that's where that intellect comes through it, but the heart is like still in pain and it's like still hurting. But decision here, it could be like sort of like right now a realization, oh, you know what, I'm actually good, I'm doing fine, that was like the best thing that's basically happened, so yeah, sure, I should kind of like do that. So let me see the clarifier for Aquas. Tenderness. Yes, I think Aquarians can use a little bit of tenderness. And even though maybe this poetry and everything doesn't really work, this can simply mean that somebody from the past who has been really harsh is not coming on very tender. So hence it's going to be, okay, who are you? What happened to that dude? What happened to that woman? I don't really trust you entirely. So hence, you know, okay, let's see, wait and see. But I'm watching, kind of a thing. So, and look at this lovely card with kind of like petting the kitty. And I really feel that this is going to be some engagement of emotions, as I said, where, you know, it kind of like it makes us feel alive, and sometimes that boost is needed, and that's what's going to be happening through this week's cycle. Okay, look at you, like CB Healy. You have really fun around. Okay, kind of like young spirit. So who I didn't do? Libra. We have Page of Pentacles and Strength. So look at all these pages are coming through. So there's messages and messages and messages. The Strength is like about commitment and giving this. Again, I'm feeling that somebody from the past might be showing through. It could be that somebody that you met who has a child. The biggest romance I'm seeing over here with Aquarians, though, but you might have somebody who is possibly a Leo sitting around, or number 8 might play a role for you. Again, this is like really giving this healing energy, and the Strength is like, look, you know, I'm bringing something to this world, and just because I'm small, it doesn't mean that I don't tame you. In fact, you're going to melt when you do things. I really think, Libra, also you're going to be feeling emotionally, I would say, content. It's not one of those extra kind of like jumping things, but content is like so nice. It's kind of like the purr feeling that, you know, I can just express myself, I can be who I am. And the Page of Pentacles is like really talking about a curiosity. You might be approached by somebody who is much younger than you or much older than you, right? Because this energy really either shows somebody younger but who shows enough maturity to really be in your company, or somebody older who does have this really youthful spirit to kind of like jump around and enjoy themselves. So it's going to be feeling that, hey, you know what, I really know how to move forward. I really want to continue enjoying this. So the Strength card being here is important. So let me see your card. Simplicity. So there we have, that was a Gemini here. So yeah, you know, there's like nothing really complicated over here. Like when we kind of like pull ourselves into who we are, when we start to be like a childlike and you're just allowing yourself to dream without any hesitation, then you actually reach that level of simplicity, and it really pushes you forward in a much kind of like easier way than otherwise. Okay, so let's go. I need to shuffle these guys a little bit. Special K, I want to eat you right now. So I don't even have either milk or cornflakes at home. So we'll see. We are going to do now fire, 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 fire. You want to eat her. Okay, so I know it's weird to say, right? Okay, fire. What? Ooh, we have Wheel of Fortune. I see Sagittarians all over it, so that's going to be interesting. Look at this. Fire is saying, you left me for the last, how dare you. Look at that. Wheel of Fortune. Wheel of Fortune is like all these fixed signs here. Aquarius, Scorpio, Taurus, and Leo are having a book. And the book is like talking about wisdom. It's talking about, you know, this is kind of like calculated, kind of like a risk calculated moving forward. Wheel of Fortune always talks about currently you'll feel on the top, but do not completely jump out of joy, because certain things will actually help you go through stuff. Almost like sounds to me, guys, that you're dealing with certain past issues, that you're dealing with almost like somebody who was running the show. When the Magician reverses, I do not like this combination. So you might be dealing with water signs or another fire signs. Well, I'll also see the air. or with these 4 fixed signs that I told you. Because look, when I see the 6, and Gemini is also coming through really strongly. So when I see the 6 of Swords, look at that. We have turbulent waters and we have calm waters. It's obviously bridge over troubled waters, and it's kind of like taking care of you, kind of like leaving this situation, but you're not going to. This week is going to be kind of like facing certain things and realization of something that hasn't been done right. Now this actually can talk about some manipulation, because look at those energies of 10 and 1 over here. You do want that piece of happiness for yourself, but not at any cost, guys. And somebody might, Magician reversed is a person who's going to willing to say anything to make things work, just because they don't have to look for the long term. They only look what is the immediate. But the immediate could be very stressful. The immediate might not really work. So putting the band-aid on a huge cut, you're going to bleed out anyway. So even though you have enough fortitude to push yourself through it, be very careful this week. In fact, you're not going to have much really thing to say. This is karma stepping in. Big changes are happening. I would just really be wary of making big decisions, because this is like that kind of like thing about the rules, and not necessarily your rules. It's the rules that we as a society have. Because look at here, even the king, we have the king and we have the fool, both falling off this, basically almost like said planet of this tower, meaning like this kind of like understanding of who you are happens to no matter which level you are. But there is like something that you clearly need to go back, either to clean your act or clean somebody else's act. I see these interchanges, and it might be something that is going to come as a shock for something from the past. So we'll see what is this all about. So let's see. We will go with Sagittarius. Sagittarius. Well, Lati, I'm number 11, and otherwise, if I were not, I would be a little bit kind of coldish. But kind of like that kitty that I saw yesterday really touched my soul, because this is exactly what it is. I have to keep going. I just have me. But 11s are very sensitive, and 11s cry easily, and I actually really don't like that part of me, because you really, it's highly empathic energy. So sometimes even reading for people, I kind of like deeply experience what they're going through. Oh my gosh, Special K, that sounds bad, you know. Saggy, there is like Saggy, hands up. Woo, Saggies, you're getting a bundle here. You're having a Page of Cups, you're having a King of Wands. Whoa, Sagittarians. You're having people around you, that's for sure. Look at this. 3 different energies: water, fire, and earth. 2 kings, which is absolutely amazing. Page of Cups can talk about messages, can talk about love message. You can talk about, hey, you know, I'm so cute, take me. You know, sometimes people send you something that kind of like really warms your soul. It doesn't have to necessarily be something that is sustainable, but it's still really good. King of Wands, it could represent you, or it could represent somebody born in the sign of a Leo as well, which kind of like does talk about sort of like energy that is more like, let's kind of do stuff. King of Wands is like so much fun, but King of Pentacles is like really kind of domestic. So you might be dealing with somebody who is maybe married. It could be like 3 different people that will be very influential on you in this particular week. So almost like at work, you're trying to figure out what you want to do, what's going to establish you. Like, this is a very strong energy, guys. So King of Pentacles means that if somebody attempts to manipulate you, that you will try to figure out how do you go around this. And it necessarily doesn't necessarily talk about emotions. King of Wands really talks about, you know, engagement with the other people, where King of Pentacles talks about, okay, where I am, what do I have, where do you really want to be. So looking at kind of like quite a few different aspects of your life, because the Wheel of Fortune also is a Jupiter card, so it does connect with Sagittarius very much over here as well. And I do not know if you guys have some kind of like Scorpio or Aries around you, because that's kind of coming through as well. So just general message, as I said, be very careful if there is anybody who is manipulative, but you're going to just be very strong. Honestly, the only way to get through to you, if somebody harm you, if somebody's kind of creating a rocking the boat in your life, is going to be through, you better be super cute if you're kind of like doing all the stuff. So it's going to be very interesting, but you're really trying to kind of like really find that firm ground and step on your feet in more ways than one. And again, 3 cards: openness, tenderness, and courage. I like openness. Openness means that certain things need to be addressed, certain things need to be said. But openness and tenderness, when they combine together, it talks about, you know how people sometimes say, oh, just tell how it is. Honestly, I just want to shoot all these people. What do you mean you just tell what it is? Like, you are not an animal. You are not, sorry, like to insult animals, actually better than that. The reason why we are humans is that because we need to package things. We don't go around with the swords and just like prick people. We kind of like want to go through that strength thing. We want to accomplish things without resorting to that force and the harshness, right? So openness and tenderness is like something that you generally don't have, which is like diplomacy. It's really kind of like when you really want to scream from the top of your lungs, and I mean, it takes one to know one. F you and leave me alone, you jerk, and blah blah blah. Here's saying, you know, yeah, you know, I'm not doing this anymore, not because of you, but because of me, because I feel that energy is hurting me as well, and I don't want to engage in all this kind of like back and forth over here. And courage to kind of like take this leap is going to be very important, and it's going to be something that maybe you haven't done in a while. Maybe some of you didn't have the luxury to be that kind and to be that loving, but now you certainly will. Maybe this also talks about starting of something new, and you're kind of taking a different approach in this respect. So that's going to be really interesting over here. Okay, so who do we do next? Let's do Leo. Leo. Yes, today is solar eclipse, and it's going to be really huge. And we have the King of Cups here, Leo. That's my angry unicorn. That is like some kind of like manipulation of something. Yeah. And okay, so let me just see. I didn't really think that Lati and I didn't discuss who is the mod today, so how about you, Lati, do that? So let's do it this way. So King of Cups, Leo, you have 2 of Pentacles, and you have Page of Wands. I really think that you feel manipulated, and you feel emotionally manipulated by somebody. You feel that somebody is possibly juggling, and there is like action needed on that level to do that. This could really talk about, the King of Cups can be a water sign. It could be somebody who is just trying to get, you know, through that back door, through that kind of like emotional, hey, I love you, as if love kind of like conquers everything, but it's not true. So but it looks like you're kind of like really understanding what is going on, and hence this 2 of Pentacles. It's almost like you do know this is a toy, but you're still kind of like playing along. It's okay, let me see what you have to say. And then Page of Wands is going to be that, okay, so where do we go from here? It certainly, I can see it can be something really fiery happening over here. As I said, beware of manipulation. Leo, in particular, if you have this Gemini and Sagittarian axis, and Scorpio. But I think this is really positive. It's kind of like, where do I fit? How do I go forward? And what do I do? And then Page of Wands is coming through it saying, okay, let's move forward. Let's kind of like come up with some positive kind of like messages over here. Okay, so acceptance. Maybe you're simply looking at somebody and saying, huh, you are this way. I just keep spinning my wheels over here asking you to change, and we keep doing the same thing. You just keep applying this negative things to just, you know, different situations. But ultimately this King of Cups, you know, like I hate King of Cups reversed. And I'll tell you why. Because this person is, I would not say this person is deviant, but what they do, they just literally want to, how to explain this, they're going to sit next to you and they're going to tell you dreams. So they're like expressing themselves in terms of dreams. So but they're going to apply the dream on you as if you somehow are the solution. So for example, you're the woman of my dreams. I really want to marry you, and I really want to be with you. I just can't imagine our children playing in this beautiful house with the white picket fence. And of course, any normal person would think, well, you know, the fellow is interested in me, kind of a thing. But they're just daydreaming, because the next morning or the next hour, they'll be telling exactly the same thing to somebody else, except somebody else is going to be the star of that story. So that's why we sometimes trust and we hope things are going to come back, because it's almost like implied promise. But when this doesn't happen, then we realize, oh, I better kind of like find my sea legs in the situation. So that's kind of like going to be one of those things. Maybe this communication is going to be, okay, you know, shit or get off the pot. Pardon my English. And who else I didn't do? Aries. Aries, you're last. Okay, do I still have a coffee? I still have a sip over here. Aries. Okay, that's good to hear, Marina. Aries, this one wants to come out. Oh, we have a Page of Swords. Ooh, the devil. Ooh, devil, Aries. So, you know, you guys are different. So talking to Aries, which is a sign number 1, and I'm a sign number 11, so I'm like these two ones. I kind of like totally get your energy, but I also feel this energy is not fully cultivated. So what do I mean by that? Because you're sign number 1, you're giving huge, enormous physical energy. You kind of really know what you want, and you want to get it really, really fast, right? That's why you have this like two proverbial kind of like what do you call it, sheep on this kind of like thing, locking horns, or is it a goat? I don't know, whatever it is. So sometimes you're forgetting that the beauty of it is in the process, and that there are like little elements around, but this is like not, it's not necessarily that you're forgetting. Like this is just like simply the way it is, and you still have this like next 11 signs ahead of you to learn and kind of like to finesse this. It's almost like, looks like you pull the diamond from the basically earth, and it's like still needs to be polished, still needs to be worked on it. So it has harsh edges, and those harsh edges can be like really, really polished. So Page of Swords is like that directness, and I can see that over here. It's going to be some essence, and this is definitely your card over here. So I think it could be a few things that I see here. It could be that you're involved with somebody sexually, and that you're just going to tell them, I'm not interested, kind of like as brutal as that, and it's going to almost take them by surprise, because something was going on for quite a while. You might feel that you are given no options in some situation, and you kind of like will feel a little bit taken by that, because the Tower card appearing in combination with this, especially the Devil, kind of like gives us this energy of, oh my goodness, you know what, you know, I'm stuck here, I'm going to die here. It's a panic mode of some kind of like to some kind of like level, not getting your answers. You're feeling that you're talking to yourself, feeling a little bit displaced or misplaced, even if you wish, right? So interestingly now that we have like this 2 energy of 6 over here, which can't address how you approach relationships. And sometimes it looks like you approach relationships in a very kind of like raw way, kind of like, look, I just love you. So that's why Aries, men or women, they just kind of like romance you, and then if all of a sudden it stops, it's just like that, because they kind of like get and chase you until they get you. They will chase you relentlessly, but then if for some reason they feel, well, you know, this is not going to happen, they just stop just like that. So something is going to happen for you, Aries, that is going to make you feel that you need to think differently. You need to kind of go back to some of the old things, or address some issues that maybe have been patched up but not really resolved. So page of swords is asking lots of questions. You have to understand that you might not get all the answers, but it's really important to pose them. The devil energy also can talk about unhealthy attractions. So you might be dealing with somebody who is manipulative, or you might be a little bit manipulative, and it can kind of go back and forth in the situation. So this is about kind of like addressing things, but it might not be in the best possible way. I do see that some words will be said that's really going to explode in your face. So forewarned is forearmed. And let me see over here. So I don't know, Lati, did you get transformation and vision? It's a soul, sight, and future. Transformation, I don't think is going to fully happen for you this particular week, because it's going to be things you actually might even feel like Mercury retrograde, not necessarily transportation and stuff, but it's going to feel like well, I need to know this, and you're not getting those answers. You're not getting collaboration. You kind of like feel that you know in which direction to go, and how to handle it, but somehow anywhere you go, you're going to have those erected walls, and it's going to make you really, really angry. The truth is here is just to really relax, because there are still certain things from the past that need to be addressed, because there is like something that has been set in motion in a really wrong way, and it is like time and ability to undo it. That's why vision is really important. So you might be finding yourself coming up with a plan B, and only thing I have to tell you, really be aware if there is like somebody with whom you had on and off friends and benefits kind of a thing, because that can be actually very hurtful. Or if you're on the receiving end, something can be spoken there that is going to really, really shock you. So that kind of like brings us to the end of today. So let me kind of like find my special K and kind of like get some kind of like food, and then I have to over the weekend work on monthlies. I really feel bad they're not done. Most likely I'm not going to release them until the next week, because on the weekend nobody's around. So I will aim for Monday. So special K, you here, honey? Special K. I don't know, I'm kind of like feeling special K, we appreciate everything. Oh, this is so sweet. And again, guys, thank you so much for being here. Please thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever you feel it. And if you can help me support animals and support my channel, please order my annuals. I think they're good. They're like about hour-and-a-half minimum. You have few parts. The first part is like really talking about year number 3 to see how you can position your sign, and then it's sort of like quarterly review. Then I kind of like do astrological houses, and then the last one is Lenormand, so you sort of like get a timeline how to go about it. So special K, cat pulled the devil. I had a premonition. That's really interesting. Oh, Lati, did you give it to special K? Okay, yes, we need to get your email over here. Oh, there it is. Winner, winner, winner. Winner for what? You won a one question, one area reading. So here you have to send me this form. Just pick 15 minutes, but it's either like anything from 10 to 20 minutes. So you just tell me one question, but please don't make this question, you know, some kind of like a meaning of life. It has to be a very simple question. Or just tell me about my love prospects or my career prospects. So one area of life will be read for you. So you want a reading, and when you send me this form, I'll take it in and kind of like line it up. So without seeing your email here, knowing who you are, I won't be able to do that. So hopefully you kind of like put your name in here. And don't worry, I think Letty is like a hawk. She just sees it, grabs it, and then hides it, so it's not staying online. So I guess she's typing. Okay, she's dealing with it. So let me put the music while I'm waiting. Oh, that's really sweet to hear from you. I'm going to put music, and we are waiting for you, Special K, to authorize your reading. And then, you know, guys, that I love you, and I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and all the best for the New Year's. It's going to be tomorrow. Everything changes after the solar eclipse today, so trust me, it's going to be a really, really good thing. So thanks everybody, and there we go. I did get the email, and please send me that form, sweetie, and then we are all set. Congratulations to the winner. Thank you everybody, and you know what, until the last time, you know that I love you. Lati, thank you for your help, and thanks for picking somebody. Hopefully it's going to be encouraging reading for her as well. So can't wait to get from you, Special K, the form, and that way I can kind of like organize when to do this reading. Until the next time, guys, have a wonderful and wonderful and wonderful, wonderful week. Where's my Special K? Where's my Special K? Love you, love you, love you. All the best.